Hello. Yes, colleagues, comrades, I hope you're doing well. Yes, mu sharing ka live stream kano mango wale nsonga nyagala yogera mu like something that I talked about last year. Ochimanyi like buli ebintu byomu like we've talked about are now coming to pass today. Lero mu sharing mango wale ochimanyi mugamba mutya obulamu mba missinga. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Hope you're doing okay. I really miss you guys, and I really love you guys. You know, I feel, I really love colleagues in the struggle. Aba tinga. Chomanya batuita wuni fetuvuga tinga. Eno mbulijjo na nga mundize njagala vuga bera conductor wa tinga. Mugamba chi. Yes, walo ensonga chiri very important musazi njagala kubabulira. Nga sijja kutwala saa obudde bungi. Njagala kugenda straight mu point yange. Yes, ngafe tuvuga tinga. Twavuga tinga. Oli bosi ko yagame bulijjo binti fe tuvuga tinga. Anyway, coming to the main issue. You guys, can you imagine? This is something that I was talking about last year after the elections, after campaigns, immediately. You know, after elections, I was talking about this. You know, I talked about this in radio stations. I even did live streams about this. I even made live streams about this. I even went to my social media platforms. I blogged about this. I made a lot of noise about this last year. Now today, my very words have come to pass. You know, today my very words have come to pass. Now today, you saw Kamagero. Ori journalist Bamita Andrew Kamagero. Is it Kamagero? Yes, it's a strike machine. Mumanye is a strike machine. Yes. So Andrew Kamagero lero ya je mu Facebook page. Ya wandi se buniti very soon kumpi. Government jako tandika simanya countrywide consultation kuvugisa ensonga anti they want to stop a common Ugandans from voting for president, that the parliament will now vote for president, just like what is happening in China, the Communist Party. You know what is happening in China? In China, the citizens do not vote for president. The president is elected by a parliament or by a committee, you know. So what is happening now is that Museveni is too old. He's very, very old. He keeps hiding his age. He says he's 75, he's 70. This guy is in 80s. He's in 85, 80 something, going to let me say like to 90, whatever. And they are very sure and they know very well that in the coming years, maybe around in the coming years by 2026, Museveni will be too old that he cannot be running around the country like the way he has been running, especially with young and fresh blood like Chagulanyi Robert Sentamu competing around and all those stuff. So they want to keep Museveni alive. They want to keep him around. Even if he's too old that he cannot do anything, but they want to keep him around. That is why now they've brought this initiative and this idea saying, Busimanya, it is parliament now to vote for president. They want to go for a countrywide consultation to ask for consent or for a referendum, kind of referendum, that Ugandan parliament will now vote for president. Ugandans will only vote for members of parliament, and now the members of parliament are the ones to elect president. Now, you know how parliament has messed us in the past few days, in the past few years. Even today, the reason that's why Entebbe International Airport, Elikugenda, is because the parliament of Uganda approved the loan in secretly. You know, they approve loans. You know, like mo parliament fetutute like NRM as majority members of parliament in the parliament of Uganda. Even if opposition is standing on some pillar, the opposition will always be overpowered by the numbers that NRM have in parliament. So the numbers of members of parliament that NRM will be having in parliament, of course, we presume that by that time they will do a lot of rigging as they rig that presidential candidate. Museveni can go even up to Kayunga. Just a local polling station, just a district. You go to rig and even beat people, rig elections in the district. What if now it comes to member of parliamentship race and the parliament race? So the issue is ndikupabula mazima ku nsonga emu oyo guy sebo ali mukadde nnyo kati emyaka etuuse guy ali like around 80 something enkaaga munana ekinana like kinana abiri awo kinana abiri something like he's too old now. Kati tasobola duka around the country muna Uganda duka mu northern Uganda duka wali Kampala duka wali Kayunga duka wali tasobola kakati akoye talina amaanyi mungi akati kikiba yagala teeka mu musazi no ensonga nti parliament bayagala gijjako amaanyi like powers from the people mwega abantu mwe mujja kubeera n'amaanyi kulonda ne power ne authority kulonda members of parliament yeka temujja kubeera n'amaanyi ne authority kulonda gundi president. Parliament ejja kubeera ne authority eyo akati the party which will have the majority member of parliament will determine who the president will be. Ochegera, just like anything that Museveni wants in parliament just passes because NRM has the majority members of parliament. So he will invest a lot of taxpayers' money, and that is why I'm telling you one thing. This Mozi thing is a diversion that we have around and all those stuff. Waliwo ekyekyisiru bingi nnyo ekiri mu Uganda. Tulikuteesa ku ekyekyisiru bingi ate ekiri very very important. Ekiri so important. Twaleese mabega. Musazi no nze bulijjo olunaku lumu nayogedde mu live stream nagamba nti abakawempe abamakindi temwalonze ababaka wame inti bagende babeere wali mu kitale ya prison oba simanya Luzira prison. Temwalonze omuntu ga Honorable Segrinya, temwalonze omuntu ga Honorable Alan Sewanyana inti bagende babeere kitale ya prison oba kimanya Luzira prison. Akati is upon you. You need to wake up. You need to get up and wake up and begin demanding for your members of parliament. You do not elect these members of parliament to go and be in Kitalia prison. You do not elect them to go and be in Kisimanya Luzira prison. Echekisiri to be vemu. Ate musazi tulina kunyigawo chigaye Bosiko alina kuleta ababaka wamwe wawero. So you need to pressure Bosiko to release your members of parliament. It's upon you, the people of Kawempe. How can you be for months coming to almost a year? You have entered a new year without a member of parliament. You are not represented in parliament, and there is tewali omuntu asobola ayogera wakawempe mu parliament because mubaka wakawempe ali mu Luzira prison zoba alwaza simanyi owure ebizibu fe tulikuda tosobola kubeera ngoli makindi awo ate mubaka wa makindi ali mu prison si Luzira o kitali ya prison paka saa zino ate balide festive season mu Luzira prison oba mu prison Chicho chinyizo omuntu nnyo nze nabagamba nti it's your right, it's your constitutional right to begin demanding for your leaders to be brought out. If at all they committed any crime, let them be released on bond, let them be brought to court. Ekyekisiri byosimanya oli kutwala oli gundi oli ayogedde ntya oli agambe wundi boss kwa fe oli agambe wundi mutwale mu prison like musazi no Kakwenza ali mu gundi mu prison illegally. Kakwenza oli blogger ali mu prison paka saa zino illegally. So the issue is, let me tell you one thing, waliwo abantu bayogera ku injustice when it has already affected them, when it has touched on them. Nga injustice tell has not gotten you, or you have not suffered any injustice, to yogera mu injustice. That is the kind of selfish act that we have in our country. So let me tell you one thing, when your neighbor is sleeping angry, we go mundu olina mere wo, gendo muwe mere. Let your neighbor also survive. When your neighbor is sick, go to your neighbor's place, give them some support. My neighbor's problems, ejizibu eya neighbor, erijizibu yange. Oshegera, chicho chichinze nimo. Ejizibu ya neighbor, erijizibu yange. So when we have that kind of art, we live as a community, as people of the same caliber, as people of a country, a same country, citizens of the same country. That is when we shall be building what we call the kind of Uganda that we want, or that we've been aiming for. That national unity platform also preaches. Oshegera. So the issue is, my main point is one, what is pissing me and what I've talked about sometimes now is coming to pass in Museveni ayagala bunti parliament now to remove the power of voting president from the citizens of Uganda to parliament. That is now parliament to begin voting for president. Because oyo guy alimukade nyo kakata ko etasobola tambula countrywide ngabulijo in 1990s gabulijo in 2000 tasobola tambula countrywide because talina amani to keep him around, to let him stand, or you would have gotten to swallow the name of the medicine tablet and all that because he's old. You are in 80s, and you reduce your age, but you are 70, you are 75, yet you are in 80s. Your face presumes that there is no any African leader, or any leader on earth who has superseded the age of 90. So they want to keep him alive, such that the dynasty, or that the NRM would continues and the Musevinism continues. So I'm telling you one thing, let's prepare for a serious kuzoganya, a serious kwe kalakasa. Tetu jabi tegere chachi siribyo. Wesimanya simundi omuntu owansi talina tasobola kulonda president. Inze nikuba gamuni tetulina kutegera kuni eyo. I think we need to fight that thing, by the way. I saw Kamagero. Like I'm telling you, Kamagero today posted it and published it. This is something that I talked about last year. I said that the way I look at this man here, he's too old. He cannot be running countrywide every year, every time. And also, he cannot be running countrywide and always have to look for votes like what he has been doing in the previous year. Somebody running battles with the BCJ, somebody like in 2021, he was in running battles with the Chagulani, the Tinga camp. He was in running battle all over with the Tinga people. He cannot manage it anymore. So the only thing right now is supposed to lobby and solicit for buying time in the future. So by buying time is to remove the powers from Ugandans for a common man to vote and give it to give the power to parliament, which he knows he can manipulate easily. Bribe. You know, these members of parliament, they are bribed, by the way. A member of parliament from NRM, let me say 50 members of parliament from NRM is equal to one member of parliament from NUP. One member of parliament from NUP is better than 50 members of parliament from NRM. Or from position, because once they go to do Simanya Rachitora, or they go to Simanya, what is this Chankwanzi, that Chankwanzi retreat, once all state house, once Museveni says we want this as NRM, nobody talks against that. It goes like that. So as the citizens of this country, you know, like Miake Joe, Tualwanye Bizubinji, we fought very many battles, countless battles. Some which we won, some which we lost. Of course, it's normal to lose battles. But that doesn't mean that we should accept defeat. We need to keep focused and we need to keep fighting. The main things that is really very pertinent, that we cannot forego at any particular time. Especially this one here now when it comes to issues of the constitution. Museveni now manipulating the constitution to ensure that the parliament now has powers to vote for president, not the common man, not the Mundo Wansi. Because he thinks he's already old, that he cannot run countrywide in running battles with the Chagulani Robert Sentamo tomorrow in 2026 or wherever. Or he thinks he cannot run in running battles with whoever will contest in the 2026 general elections. And they think for us we are supposed to accept that madness. This stupidity will stop from State House or from NRM or from Parliament where they are discussing that shit. If they come with that nonsense to the village, we are going to beat those members of Parliament seriously with Chiboko. Because that is not what we voted them for. How can you, right now, Uganda is losing Entebbe International Airport because Museveni illegally and secretly signed loans with these people here, and these members of parliament helped him by approving it. Now he got the money and they misused the money, and now he's coming to us telling us Busimanya Entebbe is going. I need to very limited truth. Entebbe International Airport has gone. There is no way we shall get it back. If you are to get it back, Museveni should go to the reserve, where the IMF printed money and gave him last year around September. He got around 2 trillion shillings. If it's to get back that money, to get back Entebbe, he should go and withdraw that money. He always withdraws money from the reserve to buy more jets, to buy more sophisticated weapons, to terrorize his opponents, the Tinga camp, so to bribe his generals, to make them happy, to do. Those are the kind of things that Museveni spend money on, by the way, taxpayers' money. Majority of the taxpayers' money. Now, let me talk about this. Mujukre ensongaja bulijo walabye mu news buniti. Waliwo omubaka wa American Embassy akola mugundi akola mugundi akola mu American Embassy Uganda by the act is account, his phone, the act is database, you know, they hacked his address and they hacked into his account, and America was very angry. Do you know why? You know, Pegasus is a complicated thing, but I'll try to explain it simply. In a simple way, there is what we call Pegasus. Muozi is the reason as why Pegasus was brought into Uganda. Now, Pegasus was brought to spy. Actually, Pegasus' main role is to spy. To spy on people is to spy on members of parliament from opposition, to spy on diplomats and all stuff. It's very unfortunate that Pegasus spied and hacked into the database of the staff at American embassy in Uganda. America got very angry. That is when the Candios were sanctioned, by the way. You know, let me tell you one thing. I still stated one thing. That's when the Candios were sanctioned. That's when the sanction issues, the 50 more members of parliament were sanctioned and all those stuff. That's when the sanctions started coming in, because America was angry, very angry. Me, I told you one thing. The day you see, how can you go messenger? Like for instance, Bobi Wine yagame when the strike machine genda wali mu northern Uganda, genda bagamba abantu inze nikuja, genda bagamba wuna abantu inze chenye likuja buntu luwan like gwemunta bundize. You are killing the messenger. You are sanctioning people like Iwora. You are sanctioning people like Eluelo. You are sanctioning people like Kandio. You are leaving Muozi. Muozi, who has right now arrested Kakwenza and is keeping him behind bars. They have failed to bring him before courts. You see, let me tell you, people like Kandio, people like Eluelo, people like Omuntuga Kandio, Omuntiga Simane General Kandio, Simane Omuntuga Kaiwora. They are sent to go and do whatever they do. You know, they were sent to go and do whatever they did. You get it? And what they're doing now, they're sent to go and do it. Not that they do it because they want it. Ochegera. Kakati, gendo nyige oyo the passion news, the boss. Gendo nyige boss. Gendo nyige mukulembeze obabagaya abo abasebe abasajja abo. Abakulembeze abo omuntu ga Salim Saleh, omuntu ga Museveni, omuntu ga Samu Kutesa, omuntu ga Gundi, ga Muozi, those are the problem. Not the Kandio, not the Elwelo, not the Kaiwora. Because let me ask you, you've been seeing year out, year in, Museveni is sanctioned, comes into Museveni's government. People are sanctioned, Kaiwora sanctioned. Do you think Museveni cares? He doesn't care. Have you ever seen him feel pain or feel annoyed or run around getting pissed and also? Let them sanction somebody from the first family. Let them sanction somebody like Salim Saleh. Let them sanction Muozi. You will see Museveni sweating plasma and kneeling before Americans. But when the sanction is Simanya Kandio, Simanya Kaiwora, you think Museveni cares? He knows there are very many more people that he can bring and continue using them. You know? Checho. So unikubagamba mazima inti ensonga eya Uganda tujja kulwana fena, tujja kulwana ng'omuntu yeka ng'ojja malawo, like tujja kulwana fena, tulina kulwana fena with the joint hands with a common word. Ochegeera ngoli ogamba unity goli opposition, ogamba inti goli independent. Tewali omuntu asobola kumbuda nti nze independent. Siri opposition, siri mu government. Echaji siri ebyo tubivemu. Ngo even Desmond Tutu oli bishop yafude bulijo owa South Africa. Yagamba nti go abantu bali kulwana. Waliwo ensonga emu. Ng'omuntu agawundize ndi neutral. Oya siding ne oppressor. Tali ku side ya oppressed. Ochegera. So the issue is you are either opposition or you are in the other side. You are either on our side or the other side. So let's fight this fight as Ugandans. The more we continue fighting among ourselves, having among us, beefs among us, it will delay the struggle. Actually, the reason as why the struggle has been delayed is that not all Ugandans are focused on fighting for the common goal, for which very many comrades or very many foot soldiers for whom we've lost by now. People like Frank, people like Avuma, people like very many people whom we've lost. They were fighting for something that we could build a better nation for people to come after us, who come after us to live in. Oshegera. And that is the same thing that I call upon you to fight for. And that is the same thing that I call upon you to react to. People say in northern Uganda, like, let me tell you, this stupid and this idiotic, this imbecile kind of sentiment that I hear people say in Uganda, that I hear NRM propagandists preach in Uganda. Busimanya, National Unity Platform doesn't have support in Acholi. National Unity Platform doesn't have support in Karamoja. National Unity Platform doesn't have support in West Nile. National Unity Platform doesn't have support in Lango. That stupid sentiment must stop. How can you say Chagulanyi, National Unity Platform doesn't have support in Acholi? You have blocked Chagulanyi, he cannot come to northern Uganda. Actually, Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu has never come to northern Uganda peaceful. Busimanya, I'm going to visit my comrades. Let me today go and visit Strike Machine in the regional office of NUP, northern Uganda. He has never come. We've been waiting to see this. We thought we would come after elections, but still even after elections, shit even this remains the same. Robert Kyagulanyi has never even driven freely from Kampala to Arua, but I'm going to meet the people of Arua. There is support, a very big support for National Unity Platform and a very big support for the voices of change in northern Uganda, across the region. Fetulina support you chiri mungi nyo. Akari echizibu fetulina. Even if now you see Kyagulanyi tries to move in Buganda, which is his home area, he tries to move in Buganda to go and visit his village mate, his village people. Police even still chase him. You saw the other time when he was in the other good. So it just Noob doesn't have support in northern Uganda. Noob doesn't have support in actually something like what Odonga Oto was kicked out of parliament, by the way, by an independent candidate. Was saying he did not see any Noob office in northern. Now Noob regional office in northern Uganda. Is there no support in Noob of National Platform in northern Uganda? We have councillors who have gone through in national. My friend, let me tell you, councillors, these are councillors, not even members of parliament. Councillors who have gone through. You think we don't have grassroots support for the National Unity Platform in northern Uganda? You think we do not have grassroots support of the National Unity Platform in Acholi sub-region, Lango sub-region, Karamoja sub-region, in West Nile sub, or in Kalamo, deep there where Ilerone comes from? The issue is they've tried so much to push a sentiment. You know what Museveni right now is doing? He knows Ugandans do not love him. Hey, abana Uganda teba matera uchigai. Bosu tewalo munta matera oyu sebo like angura mazima. He either bribes, or he brutalizes, or he kidnaps, or what he's always good at doing. So what he has been doing and what he's going to be doing in the near days, in the coming years, what he will do, he will go and bring, first of all, he's already pushing what we call a tribal sentiment. He wants to tribalize everything. Museveni is tribalizing everything. Right now, he wants anything that National Unity Platform tries to come up with of national concern, by the way. When National Unity Platform, ate nupeliku yogera kunsonga ekwata ku emona Uganda yenyini yona ga opposition political party. Museveni ne propaganda with this propagandists, they try to bring this and turn it to be like it's a Buganda thing. You know, they don't want they don't want opposition to get what we call a national identity. That's what Museveni is doing. He's tribalizing everything. He wants everything to not to be. Let me say, he every tribes, every regions in Uganda to speak the same language. Bundi fetu yogere kunsonge Museveni tayagala ebyo. Chichi aliku tisa abantu. Akati aliku tribalizing ebintu byona. Ucheke tribalizing ebintu byona musazi no chichi eose walikukola. Akati aliku like if he sees that. Now, let me see. Let's talk about this. You've seen members of parliament. 2 members of parliament have been behind bars for now coming to I don't know how many months. And let me tell you one thing. This is something that I still say. If at all, let me tell you one thing. Let's just try this. If Honorable Matthias Mpuga and the team of the National Unity Platform members of parliament who constitute what we call the opposition section of governance, let me say the Kosase, the what, they say that from today onwards, we are not going to parliament. We shall never go to parliament. We have actually called off our duties. Tetujaku genda mu parliament, tetujaku kwa mu parliament, paka our members of parliament, our colleagues are released from prison. Just only for 1 month. We say we are not going to come back to parliament until all our members of parliament, all the 2 members of parliament who are being held behind bars in Luzira, Semanya, in Chitalia prison are released. I'm telling you one thing, only 2 days, Museveni will release all those members of parliament. I'm telling you. If they say, tetujaku mu parliament, kutane kalero, o kutane kumacha, tetujaku jamu parliament, until our colleagues are released. Let me tell you, the only way we can fight Museveni and win Museveni now is when we unite. When we unite and when we begin speaking the common word, or the same language. When we unite and begin speaking the same language for which Museveni fears, by the way. Museveni fears when we speak the same language. When you go to northern Uganda, you find we are speaking the same language. When you come to Kampala, you find the same language that is being spoken. Revolutionary language. I'm saying revolutionary language, not language that's revolutionary. Nga ojamu yuga mu Kampala ofuna mu Buganda ofuna fe tuyogera revolutionary language. Emu ogenda mu northern Uganda ofuna fe tuyogera revolutionary language. Emu ogenda wali mu western Uganda ofuna fe bali kuyogera revolutionary language. Emu ogenda mu eastern Uganda ofuna bali kuyogera revolutionary language. Emu chichu Museveni atyanyo like like Museveni atia ebyo nyo like angurwa mazima atia nyo ati tayagala bundi fetubere ne opportunity otufune opportunity emu kuyogere eyo emu revolutionary language emu tayagala bundi fetufune kakati checho alikutisa abantu ofuna akidnapping awoli like Kakwenza right now. Muhoozi thinks he's a god to be arresting Kakwenza. Indi Kakwenza simanya yamenya mateka amenya. If Museveni has been abusing our forefathers, he has been abusing the Obotes, he has been abusing their means, he has been abusing the Paul Kamwanga Semogerers, he has been abusing former leaders into their pigs, their swines. And is it not okay for Kakwenza to abuse his son who is obese and pig-headed? No, I'm asking you. He abuses Kakwenza, Museveni abuses us, abuse our parents. He calls us, you've been hearing, he calls us idiots, hooligans, abatinga, abatinga, mujukira bulijo chigaya abada kulita bondi, fetuli idiots, fetuli hooligans, fetuli pigs, fetuli chi, atuvumye nyo, akati ejo Kakwenza yavumye boywe, oika boywe inti, oli boy, ali obese and pig-headed. Oli boy yakute Kakwenza kati musazino Kakwenza ali mu prison kunsonga fete tumanyi. Akati nikubagamba bundi lero nga Kakwenza ali kusafaringa oli ku mikono ya Muhoozi. Tulina kulwana fena, tulina kumulwanira fena. So that encha ngaba kuti oli tujja kumulwanira oli fena because tetumanyi chichi ejakuja encha. Ate encha chijakobera one possible. Chijakobera one mulungi and possible for everybody to live. Nga fe tulwane like as a team together fena tuyogera same revolutionary language checho chichize nikubagamba ate oba tuyagala kulaba revolution, the fruits of revolution, not the fruit of this struggle come to life or come to pass in our time. Checho chegera. The only way we can achieve the fruits of the struggle in our time so soon and so easily is when we fight as a team or when we fight as Ugandans. You know, issues of Simanya, this one is fighting, is our own thing. Simanya, Oli Ajane Chichi, Oli Ajane. No, that madness must stop. We shall fight as Ugandans. You get it? For those ones who are coming up, Simanya, with the what? You see, we are having people power. Let's fight as people power. Tuluane people power. Tuluanenga national unity platform. For, you see, in actually, we have a statement that wala miel madon kado miel ma mierde daba kirinde mielo de loyo dan wengiba. You share this nyagala bunde aba actually bategere bunde ne abalange ba urechi buni kino kirinde mielo do mabe loyo romene kachawa do romba yegwara ki ba miel vot ba miel ki jomo kene matika fonyo miel wet ben gi umbino miel kayinde wa yinde miel keni non chamon yibino yimir yini biri ba keni yini bini piri boto ya okay. So the issue is very simple. Pay miel kini miel ki dano ka chel. Ka yinung chene mi mielo karo. Wek mono bi miel. Oli chiga ya ochegera. Checho. So I'm telling you, you see, I have seen in most cases people from northern Uganda, people from eastern Uganda, a little relaxed on issues of the struggle. You know, you are a little relaxed. The reason why sometimes I prefer to talk in Acholi, sometimes I prefer to talk in Langi, such that omuntu oli walango awurechi chize niku yogeramu. Yeah? So that the langi man also wingo mata loriene because ochimanyi bulijo nabagambye buninti ngongeze muchalo for Christmas toyogera tonywa yok do not on a drink tonywa yeka tonywa tolia yeka funa sawa oyogere na muntu no muntu awansi abachalo bamanyi chichife tuyogera mu futugamu isonga the struggle. Do they know what the struggle is? Are they part of the struggle? Are they participating? Those in the village chicho chizini kubagamba ke chere char kuja pechet ka mato konge ken pechet ka miel pechet ka muri ken chere nong chawe local to there waje gini mo loj mi lobo Uganda ba ket maki doro ket ki lobo ni pe oberu tich pa nywele mi lobo mi joma beri town ne ken joma beri city ken unu char be tiki mission in mission possible ku mission ni we obedu utumo ma bereda miara unu char be no bino donye gini watoro chimo ka chel wangiro bok wa don joni wangiro bok wa don joni. That is what we call people power. When you bok wong blame you bun boxing and you not even boxing ain't on you because lu vodo need one young join drink and marwadon. You know bergamende pe mwa piara ngwen pe mwa piara bit pe machiara piara bit itika wani mo itel wenye pe gwa okut itika lwen kono pi kelu lo ho itel wen pi kelu lonyo nyai lo njing dano Pakasas, you find we are still crying poverty. The other time they stole all the money which was meant for buying COVID-19 vaccine. You remember Matthias Mpuga went to TV station and was saying that is it NTV was saying that the parliament approved around 2 trillion shillings or 1.2 I don't 1.4 trillion shillings and gave to government. 10 trillion shillings. Yes, 10 around something. Gave government money to buy COVID vaccine, to buy COVID vaccine, to buy like COVID-19 kits, like ICU beds and all those stuff. These people corrupted the money. Ugandans came and donated money. So, wano kelu chante, kwara. Wano kelu chante, wachulu muchoro, mutu muchamre, tusasula musoro, mwemuba. Tusasula musoro, mwemuba. Wano chulu muchoro, kwara. Wachulu chante, tufe gamuli mulwade mulinye nyonyi mugenda wawero ewabazungu kukulwala ewabazungu fe ngamana omuntu owansi tubere wano mu Uganda wano ne the rotten medical health sector tusola funa panado tusola funa wano wabere deno chante de arkwida elesianta chiel peki yat monge ken matwala inje kwechi nono gino epere ipeni minimo ko eni o yat kere gangermo. So log ming mone ni mono kono nupe ko malami Uganda kono nupe ya choli kono nupe lao kono nupe I bot ko jong kuja o meke mati karmoja kuja borwa motu karmoja ko West Nile kuja log ming eni ko giko o chake tina mia we lo acheli mo nup tie ki twak kaweng nup tie ki twak ya choli nup tie ki twak lao nup tie ki twak karmoja nup tie ki twak ya lu I West Nile ka bon boru meke one wing wati geneni uchegera. So this is very simple. Niko gama ensonge mu inze ndiko yogera mu lucholi because njagala bunde aba northern Uganda also bategere inti wala abantu like nga everywhere omuntu wansi mu northern Uganda like ofuna omuntu tategera luzungu mulungi omuntu tategera luganda mulungi nga nze ndiko yogera mu Luganda like sometimes njagala muno muri omo ategere kichini ndiko yogera mo siri kubavuma by the way ndiko yogera ku nsonga za struggle ndiko gamba omuntu wansi wa northern Uganda muniti mwe mulina kubera part of the struggle teli struggle teli ensonga ya abantu babera mu city yoka o mu town mugulu city o mugulu umulira city o mwarwa city yeka struggle liye omundu liye fefena ngobera mu kyalo ngobera wa eri ya fefena goli diaspora eri ya fefena tulina kulwana nga abana Uganda tetulina kulwana nga enzeniwa tulina kulwana fena nga oba tuyagala if you want to see these guys out. This guy has manipulated the system enough. They've stolen our money, our taxpayers' money enough. They've abused us enough. He has been calling us idiots and all those stuff. You have had whatever kind of Museveni has abused us, and there is no word that has remained and used against us by Museveni. In a vulgar, he has stated all sort of evil words against us. And now Kakwenza comes from nowhere and says that this boy here is obese and picketed. Now the boy arrests Kakwenza and begins bullying Kakwenza. Chicho, that is what I'm telling you one thing. I just call upon you, everybody. Let's fight as a team. Let's fight as Ugandans. Once we have one voice, one revolutionary voice, let me tell you, Museveni will not even last for 2 weeks. Yeah? I just request members of parliament from the national platform, or let me say members of parliament who are holding the various positions in the opposition government. Let's just go one day, just one of these days. I call upon Honorable Matthias Mpuga. Please, you guys share this live stream so that it reaches him. I call upon him. Let him just go one day and sit in parliament, address the press and say that from today onwards, as members of parliament from opposition, me as the leader of opposition, we are closing business from parliament. We are not going to come to parliament until when the 2 members of parliament who are being illegally detained up to now in prison, Chitale Simane Lozira, are released. Until when they are released, that's when we return into parliament. If they are not released, we shall never come back to parliament. Let Museveni look. You will see Museveni will come on his knees. He will begin begging those people. He will release those 2 members of parliament in 2 days. Trust me. I swear. I know what I'm telling you. Museveni wants to. Is always. Is some kind. He fears being ashamed. He wants to show the world that things are working out. So now, if the opposition members of parliament or the opposition government says they are not going to parliament, that would mean Museveni's government will be incomplete. Because when you go to parliament, you want to see the leader of opposition. He's not there. You go to parliament, you want to see the chairperson, Kosasa. He's not there. The government is incomplete. So Museveni is being exposed. He's ashamed. You know, we can sacrifice the news of this is a good idea. Let the Mpuga try. Until when the Segrinyas and the Alan Sewanyanas are released. Unconditionally, we don't want these stupid things. How can Segrinya be killing people in Masaka? Yet, how can Alan Sewanyana be killing people in Masaka? I don't even know. You know, there are things that Museveni say. Those things that have been happening in Masaka, people like Salim Saleh, people like, they know it very well. They know the truth. They know the truth very well. But the issue is, they don't want to talk about the truth. They always want to be impeding other Ugandans, diverting us. Let me tell you, that NBS thing, NBS, I will not talk about it right now. But that media house has let us down seriously. You find it, like the other day you saw about Mobiro's letter. Forged letters, NBS has already rushed and already published it. The Night Post has already published it. Everywhere. Busimanya and Mubiru is begging money from Nabanja. Until when Mubiru came and cleared the air that he had not even written anything. They always like blackmail, propaganda. This NBS is the senior and the most professional propaganda machine we have ever had in our time. Oshegera. So, I was telling people that actually I advise you to begin following Lumbue's live stream. You be following Lumbue's live stream. You will learn more from Lumbue than following NBS. Be following the live stream of Pato Omuntu Awansi. You will learn from him more than following, listening to news from NBS. Be following people. Be following bloggers. Be following bloggers. At least you will learn from the bloggers, the genuine, the truth. Other than watching NBS, when you watch NBS news, you watch NBS news for 1 year, and you compare yourself with somebody who has watched Lumbue's live stream every Tuesdays, I don't know, like every evening's live stream that he does. You compare the two. You will understand that what Lumbue speaks is more genuine and is better, actually is more enriching than what NBS speaks. So Lumbue is better than NBS. Lumbue's live stream is better than NBS. Kapato Omudo Owansi's live stream is better than NBS. Anybody's live stream. Let me say, the most important thing is now, let's resort to bloggers. That is where you will learn and that is where you will understand about Uganda. Museveni, when went to our curriculum, academic curriculum, there are people in Uganda who have studied in Uganda. They are in Uganda, but they don't know where Uganda has come from. Gorimu Uganda, tomanyi wafetu vude. Ngaba na Uganda. Tomanyi wafetu vude. Ochegera. Tomanyi wafetu vude. Ngaba na Uganda. Where Uganda came from, what are the problems, Museveni Musazi na Yogera usemanya, NRM has done this, NRM has done this. All what Museveni is saying that NRM has done are all on borrowed money, all alone. You go, Bujagali Dam, the one we have in Karomba Dam, loan. Entebbe Highway, loan. And Entebbe Airport renovation, loan. Ginger Bridge, loan. Everything, borrowed money. There is nothing that we've built using our taxpayers' money. Yet you find what you got, Zimba Ulugudu, wari mu DRC Congo. Ate wale abari UPDF bali mu DR Congo. Insisagala kubiyogera mu. Baho bagai. Bagenze mu DR Congo bulijo batandise kukuba masasi bomb ne missiles bitono awo ate bade bali kukwata selfie akati nga batuse midway bajukide bundi tebalina olugudo nti balina kuzimba olugudo akati basigade batandise okuzimba olugudo. Can you imagine? You go to war, you shoot bombs, you shoot missiles around and all that. Then you forget that, you did not have roads. Now you, after taking selfies when shooting bombs, when shooting missiles, then you come back and say, we need to go and begin building Olugudo, Kuzimba Olugudo. Using taxpayers' money, by the way, of Uganda. I still state that the war that Museveni is fighting in DR Congo, Uganda will not benefit from that, Congo will not benefit from that, but United States will benefit from that. And I still call upon you. These sanctions that you see United States levying on Simanya Kaiwora, Simanya on Kandio will not work. What we want is United States, if they want evidence, let them levy sanction on people like Salim Saleh for land grabbing. Salim Saleh has grabbed land in northern Uganda. You hear, even in West Nile. The other day, you know that Salim Saleh was chased by people from northern West Nile with stones. He was grabbing a land which was meant for a forest land, a forest reserve land. In actually, the same thing. You go everywhere, you find people crying with the names of Salim Salebu for land grabbing. If not Salim Saleh, there was a time I saw on Daily Monitor that a government commissioner, a government, alina 400 hectares of land in Karamoja. Ngobuza mutweyo. Is on Ngobuza mutweyo. Oyo commissioner, tali Karamojong. kakati yafunye sente kugula entaka eyo from wa ate aba commissioner bafuna sente omusara meka kichulina kubuza mtu eyo tali Karamojong kakati alina 400 hectares 400 hectares eye entaka wali mu Karamoja sub-region obuza mtu eyo yafunye sente kugula entaka eyo from wa obuza mtu eyo yafunye ebyo chichife tulina kubuza mtu ezabe sometimes I see people talk sometimes in story like mu Uganda musazino I went to there was a time you go to Kampala you'll find the office of the minister for Karamoja affairs is in Kampala that side going to Jinja that in Jinja is in Kampala. The office for minister of Karamoja affairs is in Kampala. The minister for Karamoja affairs is supposed to be in Karamoja, but his office is in Kampala. How can you be listening or addressing problems of Karamoja? Minister omubaka wa parliament bamo appointing interim minister ewa Karamoja. Instead of kuzimba office ye o kufuna office ye mu Karamoja o mu Mukotido mu Mukabong mu Kapiripiri Kapela Byong wali yazimbye office ye mu Kampala. Akate obuza mtu eyo minister wa Karamoja akola ki mu Kampala? Alina kubeera wali Karamoja kuyogera ku nsonga ya Karamoja. Akate bagenda wali mu Karamoja simanya kuba entaka balina entaka and like you found a commissioner having 400 acres 4,000 acres of land in Karamoja and that commissioner is not a Karamojong yafunye sente kugula entaka yo from wa ani yamuwade entaka eyo kushigira. I told you one thing like Amabura Mazima. There is one thing that I need to tell you. This is what you should mark me as I conclude, because to conclude I must. One, Museveni right now has reached the point that is very old. He cannot run countrywide like those days that he used to run with the BCJs, with like the one we even Chagulanyi gave him serious headache. He almost, you saw what he couldn't run like the way he used to. So he's too old. That's all. Duka countrywide Ngabuli Joe. That is why they want to change the constitution. They want to manipulate, and they're going to attempt to manipulate it, by the way. Such that the Umuntu Awansi Tasobra Kulonda president. It is the parliament that is to vote the president now. That's what they want to change to. And it might work, by the way. And now when the parliament is now to vote for president, you can imagine the kind of mess we shall be in. So, Museveni has mortgaged almost all the national assets that we have. He has mortgaged the Entebbe International Airport. You saw it going with the help of the members of parliament, by the way. He has mortgaged Lake Victoria. He will go soon. Olunakuluzi ofuna basirikale bali kukuba babina ebibina eya bana Uganda mbali kukwata ebyennyanja mu Lake Victoria simanya mu Lake Kiyoga mu Lake Chi anuza abasirikale fe tusasula ene musoro yaffe bali kukuba ebibina ya bana Uganda bali kukwata ebyennyanja mu Lake Victoria mu Lake Kiyoga mu Lake Adbars ebyo bali kukuba ebibina ya bana Uganda inti bagame bwinti fete tulina kulya empuota inti fete tulina futufuna ngenjala likutuluma tulina kugende tutulye termites tulina kugende tulye insenene tugende tulye simanya ebichi ebiyo inti Museveni ayagala bune empuota batwale wawero ewabazungu kutunda inti erina sente mungi nnyo ni wano pe wacham redongba kadon ken nerwa dong wamiaro wano chia dong wacham ukok wacham ngwen wacham la chene utuo wacham la ba wacham la yata uchui something those things you get it tetuna kulia importer indi Museveni yagala bune importer erina balina kutwala importer for export indi erina sente mungi nnyo balina kutaka indi bana Uganda lwaki abasirikale UPDF bali kukuba emibina y'abana Uganda from Lake Victoria awo nti fe tulina kukwata kyennyanja ani akuwada amaanyi yo ate aba Chinese bali kukwata kyennyanja ate abani bali kukwata ebyennyanja abakenya bali kukwata ebyennyanja mu Lake Victoria abatanzania bali kukwata kata mu Uganda ofuna abasirikale bali kutukuba mbina nti fe tulina kukwata ebyennyanja nti Museveni yagala bwine ekyennyanja ebyennyanja batwale wawero nti bayagala kubitunda wano wachamno ngwen la chene utwo la ba uko uchwi la yata those things fe tulina kuliye ebyo nti nga fe tuli ka winyuke nerwa nti Museveni yagala bwine ebyennyanja batwale that madness will stop. Ate ekirala That is one thing. He has mortgaged everything. Now, when Museveni finishes with he has already finished with all major national assets. Now he's coming back now to the issue of the land. Ate abana Uganda mumpurire mulungi. Mumpurire mulungi nkunzonga eno. Mumpurire mulungi. After Museveni has finished mortgaging every national asset, he will have the reason that's why Museveni right now is battling with the Uganda kingdom. And the other time you saw in papers him calling upon his cabinet to help him in fighting Uganda kingdom about the land, about the land issue, about the land. You've had muri de burijo Museveni abade ayogera boni cabinet yange erina kunjamba inti tulwane musaze ntulina kulwane ne Uganda kingdom ku nsonga z'entaka. The land issue, the land issue. Leka mabura mazima, leka mabuze musoke mbure ku nsonga eno. Mu northern Uganda fete tulina ebintu byasimanya ga milo land. Fete tulina either customary land or common land. Oshegera northern Uganda fete tulina ebintu bya milo land. Ate mu Uganda wo Museveni ali kukaba wundi abana Uganda abakampala bali kukaba wundi bali kuba entaka zawe. They're stealing your lands or they're grabbing your lands. Goja mu northern Uganda fete tuli kukaba nyo. Tutuli kukaba nyo. Museveni ali Salim ali kuba entaka zafe. You think, let me ask you, Museveni, once he finishes, he knows that the only thing that he has to mortgage is all government land. So he want to change the land ownership to government now, say that if in northern Uganda where we don't have Milo land, we are crying that Salim Salah has grabbed our land. We are crying that Simanya Kutesa came and grabbed our land. Simanya, this lady has grabbed our lands. In northern Uganda, we don't have Milo land system, by the way. We have customary land. We have customary land, common land, or individual land ownership. We don't have Milo land. But we are crying also that there is land problem. In Kampala, you're also crying, but Simanya, there is land problem. The problem is not Milo land system, what Museveni is saying. Ikumalami Uganda wanta dongobun ke joni piloka ngom. Joni de ya ngom mamegwa gita mai ngom iwini Salim Selo kwa ngom ko karamoja ko Salim Selo kwa we are fighting land issue in northern Uganda where there is no Milo land system, by the way. There is customary land system, there is individual land system, there is communal land system, land ownership system. In Uganda you have Milo land system. You are also fighting the same thing. Everywhere we are fighting land issue. In Karamoja you find a minister. A minister of Museveni is having 500 acres of land in Karamoja. You ask, where did the minister get the money to buy this land? The minister is not a Karamojong, but he has 400 acres of land in Karamoja. You find Salim Saleh has farms in Gulu. You ask, how did Salim Saleh get all this land here? It's not from Gulu, but he has land there. So this madness of Simanya confusing Ugandans around, you come to Kampala, you say Milo land system. You go to northern Uganda, you say this and this. This madness must stop. The issue is Museveni wants to change every land ownership into public land ownership such that he mortgage what we call government land. That is the last thing he will mortgage, by the way. He will mortgage government land when he wants to borrow money for his retirement. You know? He will mortgage government land. And that means every government-owned land in the near future will be Chinese property or foreign property because we borrowed money and we failed to pay them back. That is what will happen. So long ming mo mange mo ta lokta what kerep kin ping ta do mo down ta what you down long ming mo ko wabi abi mo teng mo ka dong ma ko nye pere bir ka bangu bi dan ko ni mo ngun ko ngom wano tiki permi ngom ya chuli watiki permi ngom yi lao watiki permi ngom yi Karamoja watiki permi ngom West Nile watiki permi ngom Kaweng lok pa ngom pe lok mito en kit mai bogana jam tikere. So kaketi jale abiro tika working ping tika volo down mo kono one long. This the serious and the most senior land grabbers in Uganda are those in government. The most serious and the senior professional and the most smart land grabbers we have in Uganda are those in government. Those in government. So you see Museveni uses them. When Museveni uses them, now Museveni cannot challenge them. Now they take their angers and aggression. You had Simanya Utefire grabbed a national agricultural research institute land. You know, he grabbed the land of government farmland. He grabbed it. That is his. And he was there with a gun. Say, anybody who comes, you will see me. He's threatening and intimidating members of parliament. That is how the Utafires have become very big-headed in our Uganda. They think they own our country. Let me tell you one thing. It's just a matter of time, by the way. You people, let me tell you one thing. The day Ugandans get serious and get sober, in northern Uganda, people are very ready. You know, the only thing we need to speak the same language. Let's speak the same language. That when revolutionary language. When I say speaking the same revolutionary language, is meaning that I am meaning that we mobilize countrywide. We sensitize Ugandans on their mandate and their constitutional role. Just like when Kyagulanyi did in the age limit, the Toji Kwatako. You remember how I was in Makerere that time? You saw how we fought in Makerere. We fought. We were only disappointed by our members of parliament because we were going to strike until when I missed tear gas also, by the way. Anyway, we were going to strike seriously. On that we were disappointed and we were let down, but we tried our best. I'm telling you one thing, Museveni cannot arrest every Ugandan who talks against him. Museveni cannot brutalize or cannot kill everybody who will challenge him. Museveni will not bribe every Ugandan who makes noise about him, who makes noise about the injustice that he commits. Museveni will not. The money that he has, that is why now you see he's investing a lot of money in military and classified expenditures. The other day, let me tell you one thing. This Pegasus, I remember talking about Pegasus. This Pegasus thing that Muzi hired and brought into Uganda, that today act into American embassy staff. This Pegasus, you know, per one individual. Do you know Museveni spent around 60 million US dollars. 60 million US dollars. You know, per one person, for Pegasus to hack into one account or to keep track of one person's discussion. Let me say, Pegasus has been hired to hack into Kyagulanyi's discussion or to tap into Kyagulanyi's discussion. It is government spends around $6,000, $6,000 per person for Pegasus to hack into that. I think $6,000. Now this guy spent over 60 million US dollars into this thing. Semanya, they want to track, to hack, to spy on opposition, to spy on what Mpuga talks with the Kyagulanyi Robert Sentamu, to spy on the phone calls of Mpuga and Joel Senyonyi, to spy on this, to spy on what the other American ambassador is talking with the Kyagulanyi Robert Sentamu, to spy, just to spy. They spent over 60 million Ugandans, them taxpayers' money on that thing. That's where some of the classified expenses go, by the way. Bribing, you go and buy sophisticated weapon to terrorize your opponents. The issues that I am calling upon you Ugandans, let's wake up. Let me tell you one thing. Me, I would advise anybody that you stop watching the NBA, the news of the Ugandan media houses. Most of them are misleading and are propaganda machine. The state has been using and manipulating them to serve certain purposes, narratives. Now you see today, they will not talk about it. Today, Museveni has now fully appended. They are going to start what I call a nation. You see, Museveni opened up the country because he knew he wanted this. Anything, Museveni tamate, tewala munta Museveni amatera mu Uganda, or like Uganda one, by the way. Tewala muntu Museveni amatera. Museveni amatera himself and his family, the Mozi, the Natasha and his wives, period. He doesn't love anybody. He loves himself. He has even never confessed this on media several times. You think he jokes. He doesn't joke. He's telling the truth. He doesn't love anybody, doesn't care about you, he doesn't care about anything that you go through. Pepare, konyi pebore, yimeri mi chul muchoro, chawen chul muchoro, be chul muchoro, chawen, ene kwala, gichama, gimara, gimiela, gitima. The other time you heard that Simanya Jim Mwezi, the Minister of Security in Museveni's government, his name leaked into the event papers. Now when I say the event papers is abana Uganda, like abali mu government baba sente omusoro abana Uganda from Uganda ate ba investinga wawere ewabazungu in Cyprus, in the British Virgin Island. That is where the Jim Mwezi's name leaked among the government officials, the world leaders who are investing in the offshores account. In offshores investment and also making offshores investment. Where does Jim Mwezi get money? A general is paid 1.5 million shillings per month. A general, the Minister of Security gets, maybe being a member of parliament, let me say he gets a total, like a normal person, supposed to get like around 25 million shillings per month, 30 million shillings per month. But Jim Mwezi has trillions of shillings of investment offshores. Where did he get that money? Where did he get that money? People like Kutesa, you had the other time, his name also appeared among the people who are saving in offshores account. Where did Kutesa get those trillions of shillings? Museveni says today he's rich, he worked for the money. Museveni was a broke guy. Actually, he was paid to school by the father of Winnie Byanyima. Now, If he was broke and he was paid in school by the father of Winnie Byanyima, and today he says he's rich, a public servant, you say you are rich now. My friend, ofunye sente yowa golimubi olimubi nze nkulaba golimubi nze nkula ofunye sente yowa tubuze ogambe woni okoze chi. President has a salary of 3.6 million per month constitutionally. Ofunye sente yowa utubulide ofunye sente yo. That is taxpayers' money. Those are the money that is stolen. So you are not rich, you are a thief, you are a thug. So the issues, anyway, these are things that we should begin talking. Let me tell you one thing. What is the one final thing that I want to conclude with? Ugandans, let's begin putting our members of parliament on pressure to put Museveni on pressure and his government through legal procedures, that Museveni is to disclose to Ugandans all the loan-related things, all the loans that he borrowed from WHO, from World Bank, from IMF, from China, from US, from Japan, we want all those documents made public. We as Ugandans want to understand, how much do we owe these Chinese? How much do we owe these foreigners? We need to know. You are paying tax, you are paying Omusoro, you don't know how much you owe the Chinese. You are paying tax, you are paying Omusoro, you don't know how much you owe the Japanese. You are paying tax, you are paying Omusoro, you don't know how much. The Musevenis are borrowing money. I think Chinese is very secretive. Chinese are very secretive, by the way. You will not know what. So it's important now that we put Museveni on pressure to disclose to the citizens of Uganda who are taxpayers, by the way. We are the taxpayers. So we deserve to know anything in regards to transaction, borrowing, and payments. In terms of, we want to know all those things. We demand government, Museveni and his government, to disclose to the public all the documents, the sacred loan deals that he got from China, from overseas. Let me say from overseas. We want it now. And that is what you should begin putting your members of parliament to do right now. Otherwise, Museveni is getting money to facilitate Moses' candidature. Museveni is getting money to bribe generals, to make the generals happy such that the generals cannot turn against him. Museveni is getting money to begin buying sophisticated weapons, bombs, artillery, missiles to terrorize his opponents. The tinga come. Museveni is getting... Those are the things Museveni is investing money on. He's not investing money in education. He's not investing money in health sector. He's not investing money in anything that helps Ugandans. He told you he doesn't care about you. What do you want Museveni to tell you again to make you know that he doesn't care about? He doesn't care about you. So it's upon you to fight for yourself. You think Chagulanyi will leave Magere and come and fight for you? You are joking. You know? Chagulanyi cannot fight this thing alone. You join Chagulanyi in fighting for what Chagulanyi is fighting for, because what you are fighting for is what Chagulanyi is fighting for and what Chagulanyi wants. So if you think Chagulanyi will leave Magere alone and walk in the streets of Kampala, Busimani, I'm going to demand for the immediate release of the political prisoners, the immediate release of the members of parliament who are being legally detained, then you are joking. Chagulanyi is a leader. He guides the struggle. You know, every struggle must have leadership that guides its direction. That's what must happen. There are what we call people to play their roles. Citizens should play their roles. Leaders should play their roles. Yinibere American equal to mod. Kakere Chagulanyi bin Kampala. Golabe Chagulanyi Limu Street. Hey, we want our comrades back. Origu take a befanyanyi. Origu take a video. Oh, people. Jangu fena tugende. Oshegera jangu fena tugende. Ibye chismanya yine waimu. Itamu ni moanga amadong koarti God. One wing pe wing. Kwemutwiki komwa. So kawa wajini mu one wing wa chirwa. No wata chirka lwen pilobo ya. Pe wata chirka lwen pi wange keno wata chirka lwen pilobo wa. For our country. So Chagulanyi game ntigundi. Tugundi. Game tukole bwati yo. Fena. Si Chagulanyi yeka. Si aba national unity platform yeka. Aba people power yo. Aba na Uganda fena. Ushegera. Enkom jame nano. Kadon wa rubu jame diyer kuna ta. Mugu atele kama bora mazima basirikale bano gabalina amanyi ngabakute mundu omusirikale kadalina mundu you can slap him even in fence. You know, these guys are very weak. They don't eat kalo. Me, I eat kalo. I take busera every time. So this guy here is only having energy and is big-headed when he has held guns or he has held some missiles or some RPGs. If he doesn't have a gun, he's very weak. He's powerless. So issues of kutiisa abaana Uganda ne gundi nze nja kuzimba matamu y'omuntu olunaku lumu nze mpulira obusungu abe muko twak mo ki bun abulu ko